Good afternoon, students. We are back into I'm back to take English class for the juniors. If you have seen, we have almost completed 90% of your grammar. We have completed prose, poetry, non-detail, and even in the grammar, we have finished almost everything. We have taken up parts of speech, articles, prepositions, direct, indirect, active, passive, degrees of comparison, question tags. We did the syllables, and I explained about odd sounds and yesterday we did non-verbal data, information transfer. Now the little topic that is left is the phonetics. If you go abroad, they will first thing, until the child is 4 years old, they will not take him into pre-primary, and even then in primary, they will not allow the child to hold the pen and nothing. They're very strict about certain things. And the second thing that they expect is they will not ask the child to, they do not learn ABCD like we already teach our children at home. Because over there, phonetics is very important. Here in India, phonetics is now taking shape in a few classes and everything, but mostly you will find in schools, they do not teach phonetics. Now, what are phonetics? Phonemes, which means sounds. Phonemes are sounds, and they are 44 in number. While we have only 26 letters in English. 44 sounds, but 26 letters. And that's the reason why sometimes the way it is written, the way it is pronounced is completely different. And we also have silent letters. The difference between American English and British English is American English does not believe in silent letters. So their pronunciation is different. When we pronounce often, F is silent. We say often by the British English. While American English, they pronounce it as often. Likewise, colors. The spelling is different. This is British and American. But the most clearly seen is the way you pronounce schedule. This schedule is British way of pronunciation, while in American English, it is pronounced as schedule. So it is different for the simple reason British English takes up silent letters, while American English does not believe in silent letters. And if you notice, British English, the sounds are melodious, very nice to hear, while American English is harsh to your ears because they don't believe in silent letters. Anyway, coming to phonetics, like I said, there are 44 sounds, but we have only 26 letters. So it is difficult. We don't have one-to-one relationship in pronunciation and everything. And if you see in this for phonetics or phonemes, which means sounds, they are 40, sorry, 20 vowels, while there are 24 consonants. Just imagine, there are 20 vowels and 24 consonants, while in English, we have only 5 vowels. They are A, E, I, O, U. Only 5 vowels, but in phonetics, we have 20 vowels. Most of you would have taken Hindi or Telugu in your school, and probably even now you know the pronunciation. In languages other than English, you have the short and the long sound. That is, how is it pronounced? The alphabets. E, E. But in English, we don't have. It's only in the other languages like Hindi, Telugu, you have the short and the sound, long sounds. So here in 20 vowels, we have 12 pure vowels. What do you mean by pure vowels? And what do you mean by diphthongs? 8 are diphthongs, while there are 12 pure vowels. Out of these 12 pure vowels also, that is pure vowels meaning one vowel sound. While diphthong, di meaning two, there are 2 vowel sounds in it. And out of these pure vowels also, you have the 7 short and 5 long vowels. Just now I explained to you what short vowel and what long vowel is. E, E. The short and the long. So we have 7 short and 5 long, total 12 pure vowels, while 8 are diphthongs. Coming to consonants, there are 24, while we have 26 letters. In this 26 letters, the pronunciation differs in the consonants, and they are 7 to 8, which are different consonants. Like take for example, ship, sh. It is pronounced as sh. J. When you learn this, keep one word so that you will understand. Jail, j, sh, as in ship, ch, as in chair. Then you have the ing sound, like when you say ring, ing sound. Then you have th, as in that. The, as in this. Then you have pleasure. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. These are different. The other consonants, like We say A-B-K-L, but it is actually pronounced as Abakala. That's all. The pronunciation changes, and this is J. So that J is pronounced as Y, as in yes. The other consonants remain the same. Only the way you pronounce is different, except for J, which is not pronounced as J, because already we have J over here that is pronounced as Y. Yes. So, children, the vowels are difficult to pronounce. There is a app called Sounds. If you download this, it is very easy for you to learn the pronunciation of the vowels. I just gave you a brief that there are 12 pure vowels, meaning one vowel sound. Like, take for example, the short and the long ones, and the diphthongs are 2 in number. As per the Indian version, this is pronounced as quite. Quite impossible or be quite. We do not pronounce it as separate. But if you see, this has a diphthong. It is actually consisting of, this is one syllable, while this is disyllabic or 2 syllables. Quite. So this, if you open, all of you, 99% have smartphones. If you don't have, at least your parents have, download this app called Sounds. The figure you will see is this, and when you download, it tells you all about the phonetics. So with this, we have completed the grammar. Now again, I'm going to revise the grammar for better comprehension. So children, pay a lot of attention when I talk about parts of speech. I'll go very slow this time so that you can understand very easily. This has already been taught to you in school, but sadly to say, many children yet don't know the difference, what a verb is, what an adjective or adverb is. So let's go. First is, there are 8 parts of speech. They are noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, preposition, conjunction, and last is the interjection. These are the 8 parts of speech which form the base of your grammar. If you know this tenses, it is very easy for you to formulate the words. Now, coming to nouns. What is a noun? Noun is a name of a person, place, animal, or thing. It is otherwise known as a naming word. Name of a person, place, animal, or thing. And there are 5 kinds of nouns. What are they? The first one is proper noun. The second is common. The third is abstract. Fourth is collective. And if you ask your parents or your grandparents, they'll say there are only 4 nouns. Because when we studied, there were only 4: proper, common, abstract, and collective. But if you see in the grammar books which are published recently, you'll find another has been added to it. The old books will not have, but the recent grammar books will have the word material. It has been added now. Previously, it was under common noun. Iron, gold, silver, bronze, all this comes under material noun. Now, what is a proper noun? You should know the differences, because in the sentence, though you don't write proper, common, abstract, and everything, noun, you just mention it a noun, whether it's a proper, common, but at least you should know the difference. What is a proper noun? When you specify a particular person or place, place, or anything. What do you mean by particular person? Names of person: Sara, Sabha, Ilyas, Ajaz, Hari, Ram, and so on and so forth. Names of persons. Names of places: Hyderabad, Chennai, Mumbai, Pune, London, Italy, all this. And the main thing in proper noun is it is always written in capital letters. It is always written in capital letters. And names of books: Bhagavad Gita, Quran, Bible, Granth Sahib. Names of the months: January, February, March. Names of the week: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Names of the mountains: Mount Everest, Mount Alps, Western Ghats. Names of all these, any particular name of a person, place, or thing is in proper noun. Now, what is the common noun? Which is in common. When you say Sara, it is a particular girl. But when you say girls, it can be any girl. So it is a common noun. When you say Harish, it's a name of a particular person. But when you call, come here boy, you're calling any particular boy. So then you're not calling any particular boy. So it comes under common noun. Common noun are divided into 2. One is countable and the other is uncountable. Now, what do you mean by countable? Very easy to understand. 1, 2, 3. There are 3 books on the table. Countable. And countable always takes up, it has singular as well as plural. Book, books. Bag, bags. Pen, pens. But uncountable does not take up plural. Which cannot be counted, uncountable, cannot count. Sand, hair, water, sugar. There are many children who write hairs. It's wrong. And many in the uncountable say it is star. But star, maybe we cannot count with our naked eye, but it has been counted through the telescope by people. It's already mentioned. So stars do not come under uncountable. Uncountable does not have the plural sound. Like sugar. You can't say sugars. Many people write haze, but that's a mistake. Uncountable does not have an S. When we ask for sugar, we don't say, give me sugar, sugars. You say, give me a little sugar, lots of sugar, or a little sugar. But this is important that it does not take up plural sound. So with this, we have completed common noun. So going on to the next, that is abstract noun. Now, what do you mean by abstract? The best way to answer this is to say feelings, which cannot be seen but felt. Best way to explain abstract noun. Like take for example, hatred, love, beauty, happiness. All this come under abstract noun. So, understood, children, best way to describe abstract is something which we cannot see but can feel. It's part of our feelings. Now coming to next, collective. The name itself tells you what it is. Collective. In collection. A pile of books. A flight of steps. Army of soldiers. A class of students. So on and so forth, which is in collection. And already I explained material. Material, it's recently come up and it means the material. You should know gold, silver, bronze, zinc, all this are come under material now. Now coming to the next, pronoun. What is pronoun? It is used instead of a noun. Like you can't repeat the noun constantly. Hari walked inside the class. Hari opened his bag. Hari took out his books. Hari started reading. You can't go on saying the name. Instead of that, you use his. Hari walked into the class. He sat down on the bench. He opened his bag. We use he instead of his name. He for masculine, she for feminine, it. Now, what is it? It is neuter gender. What do you mean by neuter gender? When you are not sure whether it is masculine, usually for animals or things like books and everything, we can use the word it. Mostly used for animals. Though they have their own gender, when we don't know, we can usually use this neuter gender. Plus you have personal pronouns and everything, there are many, but if you know this much, herself, himself, ourselves, I, me, mine, all these are pronouns. But let's not go into that depth. We are not at school. If you know what a pronoun is, that is enough. Now coming to verb, this is very, very important because many children, when we ask what, they just say action word. But it is more than action word, children. To draw the tree diagram, I need the board. So I'm going to wipe out the definitions. Verb are of two kinds. This is very important, children. Make a note of it. One is lexical. Lexical, otherwise known as main verb. This is what you call the action word. Lexical verb. But what many children forget is the auxiliary, otherwise known as the helping verb. Helping verb. Now, lexical also are divided into two. They are the transitive and the intransitive. Children, pay more attention because you come across the intransitive and the auxiliaries often, and many children are most confused about it. What's the difference between a transitive and an intransitive sentence? Intransitive does not have an object. What do you mean by doesn't have an object? There are times when we say the sun sets in the evening. This is a sentence, but it is not a transitive, but an intransitive sentence. Why? The sun is subject, sets is verb, in the evening is not an object. And such sentences from active, you cannot change it to a passive. In the evening is a phrase. Now, what do you mean by a phrase? The difference between a clause and a phrase is, clause is a group of words which makes complete sense because it has a verb. Phrase is also a group of words which makes sense but not the complete sense. Like take for example the phrase in the evening. In the evening what? It is incomplete. It doesn't make complete sense. In the evening what? In the evening I went out, in the evening I read the book, in the evening I went shopping. So it makes sense, but not the complete sense. And that is why such words are known as, group of words are known as phrase. And it, intransitive sentence doesn't have an object. Remember that, children, because even in second year, you should remember this tree diagram very it is a must that you should know it. Now coming to auxiliary are again divided into two. They are the models and primary. Models, what are models? Can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, all these are part of verbs. Remember this, many children don't know that can is not a conjunction but a auxiliary verb. Can, will, shall, might, may, need, dare, all these are models, etc. Okay, children. Now, coming to primary are again divided into three. They are be form, do form, and have form. Now, what do you mean by be form? Everyone thinks be form means being, they don't know. It is, am, are, was, were. 5. Is singular, are is plural present tense, am is used with I only, was is past tense singular, were is plural. Okay, children, do and have are very easy. Do is do, that, and the negative forms. Am doesn't have a negative. When it is the same thing with I, you use aren't, isn't, wasn't, weren't. Likewise, do, don't, negative. Does, doesn't, did, didn't. Okay? Have also same. Has, hasn't, have, haven't, and had, hadn't. These are all verbs. So next time when someone asks you what is a verb, don't just say it's an action word. There are many things, auxiliary verbs, which many students are still unaware of it. And if you see in study material, they write, but take for example, be form, it's just written in primary, be form, do form, and have form. It is not mentioned what is be form. So those students who have study material where it is not mentioned, please make note of it, children. B form is, especially B form and intransitive. You should remember that intransitive form doesn't have an object. And models are can, could, will, would, shall, should. If you remember one, automatically the others will come. B form is important because usually with B form, you don't remember is, am, are, was, were. Do, you'll remember do, does, did, and have, has, have, had. That is again very easy. So please, children, make a note of this tree diagram. Check your study material if it tells you all this. If it just says B form, make a note of what B form is. And even the negative version of it is, isn't, am and are, is, aren't, was, wasn't, were, weren't. So with this, we are done with adverb. We come to the next, that is adverb. Now, what is an adverb? The word itself tells you, add verb, adding something to the verb. And it usually takes up ly. Slowly, quickly, awkwardly, carefully, beautifully. Usually, I said, but there's such thing as fastly. Many children write fastly. There's no such thing as fastly. Fast by itself is an adverb. Likewise, she sang well. He ran fast. She, he are subjects. Ran, sang is verb. Well and fast are adverb. Adding something to the verb, sang. And remember, though it usually takes up ly, there are some adverbs which do not have ly. But many children get confused between an adverb and an adjective. Also remember the position. It comes after the verb. It comes after the verb. Now coming to adjective, this is the most, many children get confused between adverb and adjective. Here, adjective describes a noun. Like adverb takes up ly, this takes up est. Thin, thinner, thinnest. Fat, fatter, fattest. Short, shorter, shortest. But like I said, every rule has exceptions. When it comes to beautiful, you do not use, you cannot say beautifuler and beautiful less. So you use the word more, most. More beautiful, most beautiful. More expensive, most expensive. But they are also irregular adjectives. Good, better, best. Bad, worse, worst. So like that you have less, lesser, least. So, the position of an adjective. He is subject, verb, adjective, noun. Before a noun. A thin boy, a short boy, a tall boy, a quick boy, then a smart boy. So adverb, the position is after the shit. And adjective is before a noun. If you remember the position, it should be very easy for you to remember, because most of the children say they get confused between the adverb and adjective. If you remember the position, it should help you. Adverb comes after the verb and adjective comes before a noun. I hope you all have understood, children. And like I said, adverb usually takes up ly, while adjective takes up erest. But there are always exceptions to the rule. It also has irregular adjectives, and in the case of beautiful, expensive, you do not add erest, but you use more and most. Now coming to preposition. Out of the 8 parts of speech, this is the most unpredictable because it does not have one-to-one relationship. Like there are only few things that we can explain clearly, like for and since. When for is used and when since is used. For is known as period of time. And since is known as point of time. Now, what do you mean by for period of time or point of time? Like take, for example, a sentence. He has been living here you can write both sentences. For a long time. Or you can say since 1990. Now, did you find the difference? For period of time, when you don't specify the particular time, And since, point of time, when you pinpoint the time, like since 1990. This is one example. The other is between and among. When is between used and when is among used? Two people or two things, while among is more than two. Like take for example, the sweets were distributed between Hari and Ali. Two people. The sweets were distributed between Sarah and Sana. The sweets were distributed among the students, more than two, among the students. The other thing, the college timings are the college timings are, immediately you use the word from and here to. But suppose it is written and, cannot use from. You use between. The college timings are between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. From, automatically you use to. But if it's between, you cannot use to, but and. Then there are many instances where children have written the answer as on the tree. But it is wrong. It is not on, but up the tree. Next, the difference between beside and besides. There is a difference. Beside you. She is standing beside me. Besides, besides writing stories, she also writes poems. Other than that. So that is the difference between beside. Beside is next to you, besides other than that. So other than a few things like this, the preposition, there's no hard and fast rule, children. Though you get a long list in the book, it is most confusing. Like up the tree, you follow how you go about writing things. Now coming to conjunction, conjunction is joining two sentences. But what children don't know is there are two types of conjunctions. One is coordinating conjunction and the other is subordinating. Coordinating and, but, either or, neither nor, not only, but also, All these are coordinating. Subordinating is though, although, until, unless, if. All these are. Since I don't have much time, it's almost time for me to end. So conjunction and interjunction is also very easy. We'll continue this before going on to articles, children, tomorrow. So stay tuned. And like I said, please, children, grammar is something that you cannot by heart. You have to understand it and follow the definitions given. All right, all rules have exceptions, but exceptions are very, very few. Most of them follow the particular rule, but like I told you that in parts of speech, preposition is most unpredictable because there's no one-to-one relationship. Anyway, we shall continue this tomorrow. Thank you. Have a good day.